Hi everyone, and welcome back to my kitchen. If you love cheesecakes and mousse cakes as much as I do, you're going to love today's recipe. I'll be making my Blackberry Lavender Mousse cake, and everything about this stunning cake is simply incredible. I'm going to start out with a simple graham cracker crust as the base. Then I'm going to make a no-bake, creamy, fluffy cheesecake, mousse cake type of filling. We're going to load it up with some white chocolate, loads of blackberries, and just a little bit of lavender oil. Then we're going to top it off with some lavender jello. I'm going to show you how to make that lavender jello from scratch. Let me show you how to make this incredible cake. You'll need about 10 graham crackers. It's about 1.5 cups of crumbs. I'm just going to place the crackers into my food processor, close the lid, and then pulse these cookies until they form fine crumbs. And to bring those crumbs together, I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of melted butter and give this a mix until the crumbs are well coated. And then transfer the crumbs into a 9-inch springform pan, and today I'm using a plastic acetate cake collar to add a little bit of height to the pan. Just transfer the crumbs right in. Then use the back of a large spoon or a little crusher potato masher like I'm using right now, and press the crumbs firmly into the bottom of the pan to create a nice and even crust. And now that I have my crust all done, I'm going to get started on my cheesecake filling. So into my mixer bowl, first I'm going to add in 3 cups of chilled heavy cream, about 1.5 cups of confectioner's sugar, and then give this all a mix for about 3 to 4 minutes on medium speed first, and then switch it up to high speed until you get stiff peaks and a very fluffy and light whipped cream. And now onto my cream cheese. I've softened 16 ounces of cream cheese. You can also use mascarpone. I'm going to use my hand mixer to cream this together until the cream cheese is light and fluffy. Into my cream cheese, I'm going to add in 1 cup of melted white chocolate chips. And you can use the microwave or a double boiler for this. And mix this again for a few more minutes. And now for some flavorings, 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, about 1/8 teaspoon of lavender oil, and lavender oil is usually very concentrated, so don't add too much of it. 1/2 cup of blackberry preserves. Mix that all together. And to set my cheesecake today, I'll be using agar gelatin. It's a plant-based gelatin. You can also use regular gelatin for this recipe. I'm going to pour in 1/3 cup of water into a small saucepan and add 1.5 tablespoons of agar gelatin and 1/4 cup of white granulated sugar. Give this a whisk, and then I'm going to take this over to the stovetop and let it cook over medium heat just until the mixture comes up to a simmer. And as the agar and sugar mixture cooks, it's going to thicken into a nice paste. Now don't let it cool down immediately after you take it off the stovetop. Just place it into this bowl along with the cream cheese and the berry preserves. And I'm going to mix that right in. And now we'll come back over to our whipped cream and then transfer that cream cheese and white chocolate mixture into the whipped cream. And mix everything together on high speed for about 30 seconds. Add a bit more food coloring if you want. Then transfer that fluffy, gorgeous, delicious filling over the crust. And use a little spatula to level this off. And before this cake goes off into the refrigerator to set up, I'm going to add some blackberries right on top. Just press them gently into the cheesecake kind of mousse cake batter. So once that sets, the berries are going to get stuck in there. And when we're going to pour that jello layer on top, they won't float up to the surface. All right, so my cheesecake mousse cake is setting in the fridge for about an hour now, and now I'm ready to make my lavender jello for the topping. So into a saucepan, I'm going to pour in 2 cups of water, add 3/4 cups of white granulated sugar, and 2 teaspoons of agar gelatin. Give all that a good whisk, and then cook this mixture over medium-high heat until it comes up to a simmer. Once this mixture comes up to a simmer, remove it from heat and then cool it down with 2 cups of ice water. And to add that lavender flavor, I'm going to add about an 1/8 teaspoon of lavender oil and color this with just a touch of purple food coloring. Take your cheesecake out of the refrigerator and then gently ladle that Jello over the top. And this is going to look so pretty with those blackberries. You'll be able to see them through the Jello. And this cake is ready to head back into the refrigerator. I'm going to let it chill for another 3 to 4 hours, or you could just leave it in there overnight. Then we'll come back to dig in and enjoy this beautiful creation. I've transferred this gorgeous cake onto an equally gorgeous cake stand, and now it's time to cut into this cake and see what it looks like on the inside. This is almost too pretty to cut open. And check out this stunning mousse cake. It is so light and fluffy. It's going to taste incredible. I love everything about this epic mousse cake cheesecake creation. This cake just turned out so beautiful. I love that you can see the blackberries through that homemade lavender jello. Add more blackberries on top, some roses, some greens, and you're all set to go with the most stunning show-stopping cake. Absolutely love this. If you love blackberries and lavenders, you've got to give this cake a try. I'm going to grab a little bit of that jello off the top, some of that mousse, and this mousse looks so fluffy. Wow, this is incredible. I'm gonna get myself another bite. This cheesecake mousse layer is absolutely incredible. It is heavenly. It just melts in your mouth like a dream. It is just so light and fluffy, and it's loaded with so much incredible flavor. You have those blackberry preserves, which gives you some blackberry flavor with every single bite, and then you get just the lightest hint of lavender coming through there, and then that lavender jello on top with the whole blackberries. Oh, this is just perfection. It's so fruity and delicious, and it's just heavenly. If you're looking for a really light and fruity cake, this is the one for you. Just head down into my video description box. I always leave a link there. It'll take you over to my blog where you can also find this recipe with metric measurements. Hope you guys enjoyed this video recipe, and I'll see you next time.